Hi there and welcome to Bali. Right now I'm in a Grab heading to the airport to begin one of the coolest little series that I've ever had the pleasure of filming. Today we're flying THAI Airways to Bangkok Suvarnabhumi Airport, but this is just simply a repositioning flight to get me to my first flight, if you will. Later today, we'd be boarding ZIPAIR to begin a Japan series, which will bring you 8 Japanese flights in 4 classes of service, 4 Shinkansen trains in 3 classes of service, and 1 overnight train to boot. I'm heading to the airport from Sanur, which is an easy 25-minute drive away on the east coast of the island. Bali's Ngurah International Airport is located sandwiched in between Kuta and Jimbaran on the west coast. The airport has 2 terminals, one for domestic and one for international, and last year saw 21.5 million passengers, up 71% from 2022. The international terminal's design is one that combines traditional Balinese brickwork and lush greenery, along with modern facades meant to resemble the island's waves. Before we head inside and check in, let me introduce myself to any of you that are new to the channel. My name is Kevin, and I am the Flip Flop Traveler. I'm here to give you honest content about flights, hotels, trains, and cruises. I paid for this trip out of pocket, and as always, the price that I paid is in the description below. THAI Airways had no knowledge that I'd be filming, and I didn't receive any compensation for doing so. Everything in this video is my personal opinion based on my own unique experience. The rest, I'll let speak for itself. Let's get started. I'm happy to finally see everything open again in the areas before and after the check-in hall here at the airport. I've been here 3 other times before COVID, and each was its own flavor of closed shops and spaces under renovation. Prior to entering the air-conditioned part of the terminal, you'll need to put your bags through a scan, and then we can head to check-in. Now, funny thing about this flight, I booked my Bangkok to Tokyo flight far in advance. At the time, I didn't know the time or exact date that I wanted to get to Bangkok before that, so I chose to book this flight later, in my mind assuming that there would be a litany of flights to choose from between Bali and Bangkok. Oh, how wrong I was, and it still baffles me a little bit. Let's count how many daily flights there are between Denpasar and Bangkok Suvarnabhumi Airport. I'll start. 1. All done. To be fair, there are 3 other flights to Dun Mueang, Bangkok's low-cost airport, but still, I was expecting like 5 to 10 to each airport. Luckily, this one flight on THAI was timed perfectly to self-connect to ZIPAIR, giving me a little bit over 4 hours in Bangkok. In the days leading up to the flight, I knew that it was half empty, so when checking in, I asked if they had a window seat near where I was with a full row open. Never hurts to ask. I was graciously given just that, the agent noting that they blocked the 2 seats next to me. A 3-in-1 boarding pass in hand, let's go to the lounge. Something that's never really been all that exciting at this airport. These days, Priority Pass gets you access to the Premier Lounge. And as I'm recording this right now, I just realized that I never asked which lounge THAI uses. Knowing that I could have accessed that one as well because I have Star Alliance Gold. Who knows, perhaps it's the same one. The lounge itself is nothing to write home about, though the staff were very attentive and clearly trying to elevate the space via their service. It's comfortable enough, but the food selection was mediocre at best. But at least it was cool in here, something that I can rarely say about any airports in Indonesia. As we check out the rest and head to the gate, let's talk THAI. They've had quite a few developments since my last flight with them to Delhi in business class. That one's linked above and below. Since my last report, they have now fully reintegrated THAI Smile into their mainstream operation. Years ago, THAI Smile was created as a regional arm to cut losses. In the end, it did precisely the opposite. Luckily, the reintegration has instantly released pressure on the organization, and they produced an impressive profit in 2023 of around $800 million. The most impressive part is that it's based on 9.4 million passengers. In the years prior to COVID, THAI was recording annual losses of over $300 million with 2.5 times more passengers. Efficiency is golden. Currently, with their former Smile destinations added to the map, they're flying to 57 international and 9 domestic locations, with a total passenger fleet of 75 aircraft, having recently confirmed that they have finally sold their A380s. One new development on this front, though, is their fleet renewal decision. They've ordered 48 787-9s with 45 additional options. Honestly, for THAI Airways to order a single wide-body aircraft type in those numbers has got to be a first. Normally, their ordering process is more a bit of, I'll take 6 of these and 9 of those, 3 of these, let's do 7 of those, and let's do 1 each of these. And here's our 777-200ER. Coming in at 17 years old, she's a little bit faded, but is still one of the workhorses of the Thai regional fleet. And frankly, no matter how old or dated these aircraft are, I'll always take them over the alternative, which would likely be an A320. I had a seat at the gate and was just waiting for boarding to begin. I was then called up to the podium. I went up to find the same check-in agent that helped me before, telling me with a giant smile that someone accidentally gave away the 2 seats next to me, so she moved me back 2 rows, which I thought was very considerate of her. Y'all might be thinking, oh, they know who you are. Well, I assure you, when you see how empty this flight is, you'll understand. Boarding began early, as seems to always be the case with this flight, with less than 2% of its daily services being delayed. As we head down the jet bridge, let's take a look at today's flight stats. Are you ready? I don't think you're ready. Welcome to Cotton Candy Land. I personally love how horrendously garish the interior is. I mean, it's quite the feat to think about how someone, at some point, chose this interior for the entire fleet of the national carrier of Thailand. But at least we can't say that it's a depressing or bland cabin. A very clean aircraft laid out in a very comfortable 333. These seats offer plenty of padding and room in just about every direction, except for the first row. This is one of those rare occasions where I'd highly suggest not picking it. We all know the immobile armrests make the seat a bit narrower as it is. But look at this remote, which protrudes even more. These seats probably aren't any wider than a Cebu Pacific A330, and that is saying something. Each seat has an old generation in-flight entertainment system, tray table, and cup holder. Here's your friendly reminder to click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with friends and family. Those are truly the easiest ways, all free for you, to help support the channel. If you'd like to support me further, my Patreon is also linked in the description below. Thanks very much in advance. The adjustable headrests are still holding pretty strong, and the recline is decent as well. Unfortunately, the window seat, or actually I believe the leftmost seat of each trio of seats, has a giant box underneath it, which takes up a big chunk of your legroom. Each seat has a standard pillow on it, and there was also a power port below. Alright, let's get going. We pushed back 17 minutes early, and the safety video began to roll. A wee bit difficult to see since the screens are quite dim, and they reflect like crazy. We had a quick taxi to the end of the single runway and would be taking off to the west. If you head down to the description, you'll find my next 5 videos to come out, as well as a link to my other economy videos. On your way down there, don't forget to subscribe. I release full-length videos every Thursday and Saturday. The spool up, takeoff, and airport stats are coming up next. Once in the air, I had a check of the entertainment on board. The selection is fine, around 150 movies, but the screens are just so old and there's no getting around that. Luckily, these aircraft are generally only used for flights up to 5 hours or so. Also, unfortunately, no overhead air vents. But we did have a big, beautiful engine to watch. Around 20 minutes after takeoff, the meal service began, an early dinner. The options were chicken with rice or fish with rice, and I went with the latter. It also came with a tuna potato salad, a small slice of cake, and a roll with butter. The meal was perfectly sufficient, nothing to blow your socks off, but pretty good. After that, the crew came around with a full drink service. A quick check of the bathrooms found a very clean and tidy space with just the basics. As we were approaching Thailand, the sun began to set over that big beautiful engine, and we began our extended Pattaya shuffle landing pattern approaching Bangkok from the south. Service on board is what I would consider standard for Thai. Friendly and efficient, if not a bit robotic. I'll let you enjoy the final approach and airport stats. We landed and headed to a bus gate. These older regional aircraft don't have a ton of utilization, often just one round trip like today per day, so you'll more than likely end up at a bus gate with these compared to others. Once we got to the terminal itself, that's where all the fun really began. And by fun, I do mean hell. I always find Thai Airways and Vietnam Airlines to be quite similar experiences in the sky, especially when it comes to service consistency, and today further proved that point. All I really needed was an on-time arrival, and I was deplaning 25 minutes before our scheduled arrival, so I'd say this flight was a win. I really do hope that you enjoyed this trip report today. If you did, please be sure to click that like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on my twice weekly videos. I'll see you next time, where I almost missed my ZIPAIR flight despite having 4.5 hours to transit. Oh, and as always, thanks for watching until the end.